Hello and welcome again back to my channel. I was doing some research on one article, and this led to the article that I'm sharing with you here today, and it's about the death of Carrie Fisher and who's at blame for her death, and what led to that death, which we already know, and how, she's a great loss to the community. Star Wars, greatest Star Wars community, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. This is from the Hollywood Reporter, and it is written by Kevin Dolock, and this came out in May 29th, 2024, which I'm kind of surprised, and maybe people just didn't want to touch up on it or whatever, or we are so caught up in Kennedy versus Iger and all these bad shows coming out that this is totally was just not even looked at. So this article right here is regarding James Blunt. Says friend Carrie Fisher felt pressure to lose weight for her Star Wars return. All right, so Blunt was at the Hay Festival in Hay on Way, Wales over the weekend discussing his memoir, loosely based on a made-up story, when he began to discuss the Fisher. So he says the Fisher. That's how that's been said there. Quite funny there. And this goes into his contribution to her death and what her daughter thinks of it. Now, we know that Carrie Fisher has had a long time addiction problem. This even is reported going back to when she was in her teens. And, she's from family that are predominant in Hollywood. So it comes to no surprise, really, what she may have had access to even at a young age. Carrie was asked to lose some weight for Return of the Jedi. So we know that there in the past, as an actor and actress, that they're requested to look a certain way, body composition wise, or even facial features, hair color can be changed, what have you. So we know that the creators of a production has a specific look for these characters, and the actors and actresses have to follow suit. So this article touches up basis on that and what she has to say with it, and also what she was asked and what she did to lose this weight. So some of you guys probably won't be surprised, and here we go. So the British singer James Blunt said that his friend Carrie Fisher's death in 2016 came as she was mistreating her body. So basically, she was mistreating her body due to needing to lose weight, to reprise her iconic role as Princess Leia, and allegedly receiving pressure about her weight for her Star Wars return. Blunt was at the Hay Festival in Hayes on Way, Wales over the weekend discussing his memoir, loosely based on a made-up story, when he began to discuss Fisher, a close friend who he had at one point lived with while writing his smash hit debut album 2004's Back to Bedlam. The singer told the crowd about seeing Fisher the day before her death. She was found unresponsive on a plane, having a heart attack, and died that day later, December 27th, 2016. Then he goes on to say, quote unquote, "I was with her the day before she died. When she came down to my house," Blunt told the crowd, "and she'd been really mistreating her body, and she'd just got the job again of being Princess Leia in the new Star Wars movie. So she was really on a high and a positive, but they had applied a lot of pressure on her to be thin." She spoke about the difficulties when women have what women have in the industry, how men are allowed to grow old, and women are certainly not in film and TV. So that's very interesting that she says that she's always been very vocal and opinionated and not afraid to speak her opinion. And she basically is saying that women have more pressure than men on what they have to look like no matter age. Now, do you agree with her? Do you see this as something in Hollywood over the years, from following maybe certain stars that you like? So let me know. Blunt added that Fisher always put a lot of pressure on herself. She started using drugs again, and by the time she got on the plane, she had effectively killed herself. They say it was heart failure of some kind, but she had taken enough drugs to have a really good party, he said. So he just shared here that she decided, or maybe she was still doing drugs, we don't know, but that's her history. She's a drug addict, and drug addicts will know what type of drugs they like and how their body responds to that. So her wanting to lose weight, maybe she thought the drugs would help her slim down quickly, as some drugs are known to do that. What do you guys think about this? At the time of her death, Fisher had already completed filming The Last Jedi and was set to be featured in The Rise of Palpatine. Well, The Rise of Skywalker, but yeah. After making her mark on the big screen as Princess Leia in Star Wars 1977 and the two sequels that rolled out in 1980 and 1983, she returned to the character for the first film of the Disney trilogy in 2015, The Force Awakens. Emails for comments sent to the rep for Lucasfilm and The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson's were not immediately returned. Fisher has previously spoken there being an expectation to lose weight before she began shooting her first appearance as Princess Leia more than 3 decades. Nothing changes, she says. It's an appearance-driven thing, she said in 2015. So this sounds like it's indicating that from the beginning, from The Force Awakens, she was asked to lose weight, to slim down. So then we can come to the conclusion that possibly she started her drug trip again, or maybe has never left. We don't know her history and how long she's been clean and sober from, and if this request is what brought her back to her addiction. We don't know. So let's press on. I'm in a business where the only thing that matters is weight and appearance. That is so messed up. They might as well say, get younger, because that's how easy it is. Like I said earlier in this video, that the creators have a specific idea of how the character should look, their body composition, all of that. But keep in mind that it is known that this character has aged over time. And so her look, her current age, all of that is basically in line with where they are in the timeline. So is just Carrie just upset because she has to lose weight and they want her to look younger? I don't think they've asked her to look younger, like I said, because this timeline is years, like a decades later from when she was Princess Leia in the OT. So of course characters age. So let's read on. Blunt also said at the Hayes Festival that Fisher's daughter, Billie Lorde, blames him for her death. Okay, so we're going to get in the meat and potatoes of this. So let's go on. Rather than an aggressive approach to confronting Fisher over her hard drug abuse, as was the case with another close friend, he says he was more I'm sorry if I get this wrong, laissez-faire. I probably said that wrong. I apologize. And he continues with, I took a different approach and did the drugs with her, pretending to myself that I would guide her to redemption one day. Interesting how there's like this reference of redemption, and they're talking about Carrie and reprising her character in Star Wars, right? Just not today. As a result, her daughter Billie blames me in part of her death and no longer speaks to me. So a bit of drama with her daughter and her friend. But again, I'm going to go ahead and just mention this, and I'll probably repeat this again in this video, that it's no one's fault for someone's addiction and when they decide to do it again, but the person responsible for their actions. I said that. Did he enjoy the drugs with her? Did he take the drugs with her? Yes. And even if he would have told her and sat her down and told her no, that doesn't matter to a drug addict. They will do it in private. A toxicology report found Fisher had cocaine, heroin, MDMA, and methadone in her system. Holy shit. At the time of the report's release, Lorde said, "My mom battled drug addiction and mental illness her entire life. She ultimately died of it. She was purposefully open in all of her work about the social stigma surrounding these diseases. She talked about the shame that torments people and their families confronted by these diseases. I know my mom, she'd want her death to encourage people to be open about their struggles. Seek help, fight for government funding for mental health programs. Shame and those social stigmas are the enemies of the progress to solutions and ultimately a cure." So she's mainly talking about mental illness here. Mental illness can also be covered up by drugs, drug addiction, all of that. That's fairly common, but I'm not, a specialist in that area, but that's just something I see. However, her mom chose to do the drugs. It is no one's fault. Lucasfilm in the past, Lucasfilm in the future. Like I said, people will know how their bodies respond to drugs and how they will change according to those drugs. So, did she use them for rapid weight loss? Probably. She knew exactly what would happen to her body composition. Was it right for her? No. Friends not to blame. Billie, her daughter's not to blame. Hollywood's not to blame, even though they're fucked up. There's a lot of things about Hollywood that's fucked up, even how they expect their actors and actresses to be and live and stuff, and even political ideas. That's in its own topic itself. So, but with that being said, Carrie Fisher did make her decisions. Are we sad that she made those decisions that led to her death? Hell yeah. Could her daughter or her friend do anything to help her? We don't know. Drug addicts, they will find a way. They always do. So I just wanted to bring this to light here a little bit more on the conversation behind her death. Again, a great loss, a very sad, pitiful, tragic loss. Could it have been preventable? We don't know. Like I said, they expected Leia to look a certain way at her age during that time frame, and Carrie Fisher took it to extremes. That's all I got to say about that. So what do you guys think about this? Do you think that there could have been better solutions? Do you think that anyone is at fault other than Carrie herself? And share with me any moments that you enjoyed of Leia as, the character she played, and even Carrie Fisher in her profession, because she was quite an amazing lady, quite a huge opinionated person, loved to joke, all of that. So please share with me below. And thank you again, and I'll talk to you later.